We're camping now. We're camping. We're camping at Lake Hartwell with Gerald Swindle. Remote. This is pretty exciting to me because Hannah and I have dreamed about retiring for a long time, and we're getting real close. We've dreamed about getting a fifth wheel, and lately some people have turned us off to the idea because we're not particularly mechanical. But Gerald Swindle says it's absolutely the way to go if you're traveling the country.
I don't think Leanne and I would trade it for nothing. Because the way we always joke that it's your dirt and your clothes, and you can pack up and leave, and you know what to carry. You got if you have pets, you always have your pets with you. You can take extra tackle. You can have an office. She has an office in there, and it becomes your home. And it's something very comforting to me in a competitive environment to leave a tournament and come back and shut that camper door, and I'm in my home. My dogs are in my lap. That sounds so like cliche, but there's something about that. You're in your recliner watching your TV. The mindset to me is worth the little bit of headache of something tearing up. And no matter what you have, something's going to tear up. But, you know, it's not the end of the world.
Now, for someone going from a 3,000 square foot house down to a camper, obviously I think I want the biggest one, but I'm also afraid of towing the biggest one. What's your sort of advice on a happy medium on size?
My wife and I have talked to other couples about this, is lean into it. Don't start out with buying a 45-foot toy hauler. You know, find you something that you feel comfortable with, a 38-footer, a 39-footer. And I'm going to tell you that leaving a 3,000 square foot home and coming to that camper, and we could talk about this later, it'll be the most refreshing, fun thing you've ever done. It'll be the most soul cleansing thing you've ever done. Because what you're going to understand is you didn't need all the stuff you had. You can get by on a lot less. And less is more because y'all have more time to spend together because you're not at home cutting the grass. She's not taking care of a big house. You're not running all the errands trying to get the gutters fixed. You're in your home. So the time you spend together becomes a lot greater. Even if it's on the road and you had a flat tire, I always tell everybody, I said, we're not spending money at this age, we're buying memories. So really you look at your investment, you and her are going to buy a memory, you're going to travel together, and if it breaks down, get it fixed. You know, but it's not, I tell people that, I'm like, you're not going to have anything that's bulletproof, but pulling it is not the end of the world. My wife learned to do it so quick, and all I told her, it was real simple. I said, back with your mirrors, and this thing will follow you wherever you go.
Harder than pulling a bass boat or different?
No, it's easier.
Why?
With the way the big truck that she has and the big setup, it just tows so easy for her. And I think when you hook to something that big, you stay a lot more alert. When I'm pulling my bass boat in my Tundra, dude, if I'm not careful, I'm on the phone and I'm flying. So I'm not necessarily paying as much attention. It's when she hooks to 15 to 17,000 pounds, she's naturally 10 and 2 focused on what she's doing. So it becomes easier to her. And you'll drive a little safer, which doesn't mean you're old. It just means you're not in a hurry.
I can't wait to not be in a hurry. Like my dream, I see Gerald Swindle on Instagram. They stop at a rest stop and they eat sandwiches out of baggies with a message on it and chips. Like, that's my dream.
It is so much fun for us, and I wish we would have done it sooner, because the camping life is what you'll learn is you'll run into people. In the campground life, you'll make great friends. You'll meet people from all over the country. But like for us on tour, it's the same 15 or 20 families. So we have, you know, if Riv calls, oh baby, Riv wants to come over, I've come in and her and Lulu's in there cooking in the kitchen. So that family feel to me and friendship is worth it all. If you're in a VRBO and in a hotel, you don't have that.
Did it change your lifestyle? I mean, coming back after the split, you went from being one of the young guys, or one of the
mediums,
mediums guys, you know, you and the Morgan Taylors and the Chapmans and the Howells and people like that camping together. And now you're sort of the elder statesman of the campground.
We really are, and it's like funny because they all call me Janitor Gerald because I can fix anything. So when I come in, it's like all the young ladies and husbands are like, "Hey, have you ever had this?" And you know, last year I changed the leaf springs on Pollinex camper in the campground, just changed them out, and I'm like, it's funny, but I feel like I've took on a different role now, and I don't know whether to be offended by it or honored, but. You know, if something goes wrong, call to come over. He said, hey, mate, do you have a meter? You know how to fix this. And even now on a different league, when I jumped in the other league, there's guys over there camping and I'm fixing refrigerators. But to me, that's part of the keeping it human because it keeps me from thinking about tournament fishing constantly. It's a different Gerald then. I'll get my tools and I'll go piddle around something. But coming back, it was a little different now that we're looked at as the Denny's and Shirley's. And you know what? If that to me, hell's an honor.
It's pretty cool. A couple Angler of the Year awards and to be Denny and Shirley.
I mean, I looked up to Denny, and Shirley was always nice to me, and the Hidmans and Stella was always like that mom. And you know what? I feel like now, if a young angler comes to me, a Wes Logan and Kyle Welcher, and they want to talk business, I'll open up to them. You know, I'm not hiding it. I'm not going to be secretive. If I can mentor somebody and help them along, I'm all there for it.
So mentor me on a fifth wheel. Besides the size, any features that are must-have or must-avoids?
It just depends. My wife's big on having a generator. Now, some people say I don't want to spend the extra $5,000, but the times when the power goes out and all that, the generator's worth it. If you're traveling in a super hot environment, you can crank that generator up an hour before you get to where you're going and run all the air conditioners. So the generator to her is a must-have. I'm necessarily not huge on the outside kitchens because I don't cook out that much. Not outside. I love the fifth wheel style with having the back porch ramp, because if you have pets, you can put the railing up and the dogs can stay out there and lay out, and you and her can sit out there and drink coffee. It has an awning. So I would look at a fifth wheel style tailgate lay down and probably make sure you have a generator. Other than that, there's really not, I would say go walk through them. I really would, because there's going to be things that she likes that you don't like. But to me, it's as nice as any house you're going to live in.
What are some of your favorite campgrounds or places to camp?
Oh man, we've got a couple that are awesome. Actually, this week we stayed at Hartwell, a brand new one, and it's really cool. It's a little tight and a little small, but I'm gonna say some of the best ones we've probably ever been to. The KOA down at Okeechobee City, I mean, it's $100 a night, but it's pretty nice. Like, it's crazy nice. And then Leanne and Randy have one in Texas that they like to go to. So they'll find the bougie ones, you know, but we seem to always end up in the smaller KOAs or the smaller campgrounds. One thing I would say avoid, and it's nothing against it, is you don't want to camp a lot at a campground that's really, really overran with full-timers. Because full-time is a little different. They start to take ownership and things get a little squirrely. So we always look for one that's a good split or mostly just traveling people.
Just promise me, I know you got a lot of tread left on your tires. I think you'll stay out long enough so you can fix my stuff when we get an RV.
I can fix it, man. A guy at the NPFL, Troy, his deal broke, and he goes, my refrigerator's broke. And I was like, I'll be right over.
Gerald Swindle staying out on tour, camping, selling the camping life hard. I think I'm going to follow his path. Stay tuned.